Welcome back to the channel. I think it's going to be a little bit of a short video. We'll see how it goes. The journey to being seen and heard isn't always the outside resources that are needed the most. The journey to feeling seen and heard are your internal clock, your internal guidance system, and as long as you're showing up for yourself, that's all that matters at this moment. And that kind of leans into like the topic of feeling safe for yourself. And you're allowed to be selfish when it comes to your health and your safety and your well-being. And equally enough, it's like if you're having a tough time in the environment that you are in, my first thing is giving yourself grace, being able to hold space that you're in survival mode. You're allowed to breathe. You're allowed to breathe. You're allowed to be. And I hope you find the courage to leave the environment that you're in. And if you can't move out of the place that you're in currently, I hope you find a certain spot in your place that you can make as peaceful as you can and as sacred, even if it means or having your own little sacred ritual daily, morning or night, if that means even going for a walk to get the sun in, or at night, the bath, a ritual bath is super important. It's super cleansing for the soul. And it's also important. Do you like my cup? We got like a little bunny rabbit or whatever it is. So yeah, personally, I was in my own dark place for a while. It's so funny. Okay, so it's not really funny, of course, but in a humorous time, I was presented with an opportunity, and this was filled with ego. This is an ego opportunity that I'm still gonna fulfill, but I was presented with an opportunity that was very quick, very, here you go, here's this, blah, 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 blah. We'll figure it out after. So, arriving back, I ended up going back home to my hometown, and in that same house that I grew up in was my parents. My parents still live there. I lived with my parents. This was not even 3 months ago, I shit you not. So I was in a very dark place where I was reliving a lot of my own darkness, and I was reliving a lot of my own trauma. And I think I've said this in past videos where I do have CPTSD, so not to identify fully with that, of course, but it's very helpful when I know what I know, And being in the house activated the fuck out of me. And I get that it's not easy to leave. I went, and it's not anybody's fault in my own situation. It's just my own stuff. And you can't really heal when you're in an environment that really caused a lot of trauma, or you experienced a lot of trauma in, or you were dealing with a lot of trauma in. For me, I was severely bullied, and again, I was always trying to fit in. I didn't know how to be my own person and just honor who that was. I had to feel like I was needed. I had to feel like I was trying to fit in and be a part of. And so that left a lot of trauma. We'll get into that maybe in videos to come. Maybe I'll put my story video. It'll be long. It'll be very long. But yeah. Going back to trying to get out of survival mode, and like the biggest thing for me in my own experience and also going to school for this stuff is, even with all the tools that I did have, I still ended up being very dysregulated. I was shut down. I didn't know any of my goals. I wasn't even focused on my goals. The opportunity that I was offered was totally just shot up. Like, it was just not there. Completely, like, went sideways. So, just being able to hone in on where do you feel safe? Where is a spot that you most feel safe? Even if it's outside, even if it's like a random walk to a bush, go sit on a tree stump or something. Or it might be in your house, in your, like, your... One thing, also, side quest, I do have ADHD. One thing also is, like, that sense of being able to become aware, becoming conscious of the unconscious, becoming conscious of what's going around in your surroundings, because oftentimes we can get used to certain environments thinking that this is exactly how things should be, but you know, if you take a step back, I think I've talked about this too in videos, but if you take a step back and you see what things are for what they really are, and not just like a position of this is how it's supposed to be or this is how it's gonna be, you have every right to fucking change your mind. There's a quote that I read, you have every, you can change your mind with provided any new information. So that truly means being able to reflex your acknowledgement towards, is this place meant for you? Are you meant to be here? And I mean, in the environment, you are meant to stay here on this planet in this time period. We're going to talk more about that too. So yeah, if you've made it this far, I guess this is like my brain just rambling on, and I personally recognize that you are not alone in that journey of wanting to find safety, and you're allowed to feel safe in your own body. And if someone else is making you feel unsafe in your body, you're allowed to move. You're allowed to free yourself in a way, whatever that looks like for you. And don't hesitate to reach out. I know how hard it is to fucking not ask for help and be stubborn, or, you know, like, or you physically can't, and that's fine, but just realize that you are not alone. You have every power to take back your life. You have all the power in you to take back your life, your power, your wisdom, your journey. It's your life, not anybody else's. You are not a victim to your circumstance. You have the power to change it. And yeah, the side quest that I was trying to say was because I've also had a very blocked throat chakra, I've been like, this is very healing for me to just ramble and be present with myself and stay present on video. Even though there's probably things that I go in and out of my body a little bit, I just find safety, and I feel like this is very normalizing for me to even just begin. So you are enough. You are so enough, and you are allowed to be expressive, and you are allowed to feel free to do so. And you're allowed to not give a fuck. I give you that permission. And yeah. We'll see you on the next video. Bye!